Conversations equal currency. So that's what I was talking about yesterday is getting now clients. And I had an amazing conversation with an agent. I wanted to talk about it here. So when I talk about conversations equal currency, that looks a lot different today than it did 5, 10, 15 plus years ago. When I first got into real estate, you had to call someone on the phone and have a physical conversation and ask for business or a referral for it to count as a contact. Well, as we know, things have changed quite a bit. And one thing about real estate is you really need to be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn, or you're going to get left behind. So, context these days, that is so vast. I mean, if you think about it, it is calling and talking to someone, it's texting someone, it's using one of the communication apps, WhatsApp, Telegram. I mean, there's so many different apps that you can communicate with one another on social media platforms. It's having a conversation either through the DMs or sending messages, requesting friends, and then sending a message as well. And the key point is to ask for either referrals or business. And the number one pushback I get from all of the agents I talk with is I don't want to seem pushy or salesy. And the first thing I say is you have to adjust your relationship with sales. And first and foremost, we are all selling all day, every day. If you honestly think about it, if you have a spouse or significant other, if you have kids, if you have friends where you're going to go either to lunch or to dinner or a vacation. There's so many times you're selling and you don't even realize it. And truth is, you can't help someone until you can sell them. So you need to fall in love with sales, which I have a chapter in the ebook I wrote just about that. Falling in love with sales. Because if you are going to help someone, you need to be able to step up and show them and tell them and prove that you're in real estate and prove that you deserve the business. And on a side note, the stats are just staggering of how many agents did not even sell one home last year. There's about 10% of agents that are doing almost 90% of the business. So, first and foremost, if you have a real estate license, you already know more than the general public. And if you've sold a couple houses, hopefully more, but if you've sold just a couple, you're in the top 10%. So my point is I actually just got done coaching one of the women agents that I coach, and she was the listing agent. And the buyer's agent that brought the buyer to her didn't even understand the inspection period and how that worked. And she sent her a addendum or amendment, excuse me, the night that the inspection ended at 11:59 p.m., she sent it at like 10:30. Never negotiated, never said it was coming, nothing. And thought that was good enough. Well, you and I both know that that's not good enough. And there was other things she should have done to protect her buyer. In the end, she ended up giving up some of her commission because she doesn't know the process. She doesn't know her forms. So my point in saying all of this is you know. And if you don't know, hire a coach or a mentor that can help you and make sure you understand what you're doing because these are legally binding documents. But if you are doing this, you're already in the top 10% of the industry. So it's going out there, and if anyone you know is going to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, they should be working with you. And on average, we each know 250 to 600 people. So if I just sold you a house last, let's say, October, it's unlikely that you're going to be moving. However, you know 250 to 600 people on average. So as I stay top of mind and I stay in front of you, not salesy, not icky, I call you and check in on the house every quarter. Do you need any vendors? How did that improvement go? Oh, Johnny's graduating this year. What you got going on this summer? Just be human. Just ask questions. And in that way, you can stay top of mind. I told this agent as well that I was talking to yesterday, get logo gear of your brokerage or your team. Have it added to a shirt that you already have. It's just, there's so many ways to go about this. Any email you send out, whether it's from Gmail, Yahoo, MSN, I don't care where it comes from, your brokerage should have your real estate email signature on it. These are very subtle ways to say that you're in real estate and start conversations without you actually having to go up and say, do you know anyone that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Because that can get a little over the top. However, if you are not top of mind, and this is the point I want to drive home, if you are not top of mind to your clients that are inactive or your past clients, your sphere of influence, the people that know you, like you, and would use you, they're going to walk into an open house or they're going to be clicking around online, and another agent is going to get them in their data bank. They're going to drip on them. They're going to call them. They're going to show them houses and they're going to sell their house or help them buy a house or an investment property. And all along, it should have been you. And the only reason, one of the top reasons why it would not be you is because you're not top of mind. And I say shame on you for that, because these other agents, as we know, 90% of agents out there aren't doing much. So if your friends or your family members are the 250 to 600 people they know end up with one of those agents, it's going to be a really rocky road and experience. And that only brings our industry down, because this person that had an awful experience is going to talk about it. Many of the agents that I mentor and are new to the industry got into the industry because their agent wasn't that good. And they're like, well, if they can do it, I know I can do this. So I'm got in the industry for that reason. So think about that. Really, really shift your perspective on being salesy or going out and having conversations. Now, there are so many ways to do this that I could go into, but that's what I love to do one-on-one. I have a community for women, real estate agents, a business builder community, which is in all of my links and bios and everywhere. So if you just look me up, you'll find it for sure. It's on the school community, real estate business builder for women. And it's phenomenal. And in there, you can get free resources, help. There's group coaching that's a low monthly fee. And if you want to do one-on-one diving into your business, there's elite one-on-one coaching. So I offer all levels of service. And it's just to show up and really get you from where you are to where you want to be. And I know when I hired my first coach or mentor, our number one goal and why you would hire a good coach or a mentor is because it saves you time. And time is the only resource, one of them, that you cannot buy back. Like, you can't change the time you got up this morning. Time, once it ticks by, it's gone. So if what would usually take you 3, 5, maybe 10 years to learn, it took me 7, some of it the hard way. If I can collapse that for you and give it to you on a platter, silver platter, in months, why wouldn't you look into that? It's a time saver. Think about all the top athletes, the top CEOs, the people that are doing the stuff of value at the top. They have coaches, they have mentors, they have advisory boards. They did not get there alone. So I know one thing about top talent is they invest in themselves. So if that's something that you've been thinking about, I sure would love to talk to you more and show you what that looks like. It's really just about taking the blinders that we all have, that you have on, and peeling them back and giving you the whole view. Because when we get in it, I know at least when I did, I put my head down and I got to work, and I only looked up when I needed to. So a good coach or mentor will point out your blind spots. They'll get you to look at it from a different perspective and awareness. And that's something that I am so grateful that I get to do every day here. So conversations, start having them. And if you're not sure how to, You want to work on objection handling or scripts, as people call it. That's something that I dive into in the community as well, in the group coaching and in my elite one-on-one coaching. So it's really about how you want to do this. One thing, again, I know for sure is this can be done anyway. It's really just about building relationships and having conversations. I started with cold calling. I cold called everyone. I door knocked. I did open houses. One of the women that I ran a mentorship program with for a couple of years, she's like, that makes me want to throw up. I would never do that. I did all my business through networking. She started a BNI group. She would have never done what I did. My point is, we both had big and have big businesses. It can be done. It can be done where you're heart centered, where you already show up. I just like to give you a little bit more of an awareness of how to have these conversations, how to slip real estate in without asking, do you know anyone that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, and actually sounding salesy? You can do this without having that feeling or that ickiness of salesy. It's really just about showing up, being top of mind, and when their hand goes up, or someone they know's hand goes up, you're the first name that pops into their mind. And I can promise you the only way that's going to happen is if you stay top of mind, which I know I talked about before is what a great CRM will do. Um, a lot of it on automation, and you do still need to show up for those people. And there's so many ways to do that. So if you have any questions or want any more information, feel free to reach out to me. You can actually even email me. My email is my first and last name at gmail.com, angiegerber@gmail.com. Drop a link below so that you can just go ahead to go to my school community if you'd like to do that. Comment if you need any help as well. I'll respond to any comments. And if there's anything you want me to cover, feel free to let me know that as well, because I'm here and happy to help in any way that I can. And until next time, promise you, go sell something, go have conversations, and see where it goes. And I have more on that and how to do that I'll be in probably tomorrow's video. So watch for that as well, as how to say and how to ask for referrals in business in a non-salesy way. So we'll see you then. Until then, have a fantastic day.